Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today, watching Lost. This is the 15th episode of the 5th season. Hopefully, you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in a link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. Speak about links in the description. We are running our most liked to dislike characters of season 5. It takes 30 seconds, and your results and mine will be shown in the final episode. Cannot wait to see you guys choose. So, last episode, Daniel did return to the island, and we had some really interesting backstory about obviously his mother and his father, and we're also basically, while he's on the island now, he actually wants to change what happened. You know, we have been told earlier on in the show that an incident occurred on the island, basically, that created them to make the hatch, which obviously Desmond was pressing the button for, to obviously save obviously the world. Now, he wants to stop this incident from happening. You know, he knows the catastrophic effects that's about to incur, about to take place, and he knows it's going to happen in like 4 hours time from now. So basically, he's come here, he's been saying, look, mate, you know, I spent so much time doing these equations and focusing on the constant that I've not really focused on the variables, and we are those variables. We wasn't here back in 77, but we can here now. Do you know what I mean? We can kind of change it. That's a bit confusing for me because obviously they've been banging on consistently that they can't change what's happened, but then he's going on trying to change the fact that he didn't want the, you know, the event to happen. He didn't want the hatch to be built. You know, he didn't want that. So the plane come to the island, it wouldn't have dragged them on the freighter. You know what I mean? Like, he was basically saying if he could prevent this action from happening, then obviously all of the things that rippled after it wouldn't have actually happened. But then to me, it confuses me because that is changing the future. But we're just going to rock with the story anyway. So he was there, he was going, he was saying, look, mate, you know, they're going to drill into the ground, but instead of them hitting it and obviously dispersing this energy, I'm hoping that I can actually stop them from hitting it. I think that we should go and detonate the hydrogen bomb. I need to go and see the others. I need to go and find Richard. I need to ask him, obviously, where he's put it. So that fits in with the story of him obviously going back there. Do you remember when he seen the bomb, he told them that they had to bury it in the ground, and the island is actually okay because it's still there now. We started to get more of his past as well. You know, it was revealed that, you know, he started to lose his memories. He started to, you know, lose kind of like his sanity a little bit. I'm not too sure what actually caused that, but basically, you know, Widmore turned up and, you know, he offered him the position of going to the island. He said that he was a special boy. And we actually learned that Widmore, in fact, is his actual father. So that's really interesting because obviously Eloise is his mum, and we've seen her in the show a couple of times and we never really knew who his dad was. And now obviously we had that big reveal. Now, another interesting thing is that we learned that Eloise has been on the island before. She has been, well, looks like a leader, you know what I mean? At the very end of the episode, when he turned up to the camp, when he was asking for Eloise because he obviously wanted to find a hydrogen bomb, she ended up shooting him, and it looks like she's killed him. So again, that's very interesting because Eloise technically, well, factually, is his mum in the future. She's not had him yet, but she's killed her son. He revealed that at the end. So I don't really know how it works. You know, technically she could still go, she could have the baby with Widmore, and she could still have Daniel. But the fact is, you know, Daniel's now dead in the present. And we had that kind of like foreshadowed or dropped in that they could actually get hurt because obviously it's their past, but it's our present. So, I mean, it is interesting, a bit confusing. I want to see more of this. Is it Lana and Bram or whatever? The guy who kidnapped Miles? I want to see what's going on with them, you know, and the Locke side of it. Saeed as well, you know, he shot Ben and then he just ran off and I don't know where he's actually gone. And then obviously we've got Sawyer. He was trying to escape and run back to the beach, basically back to square one, but he's been caught as well. You know, they've come into his camp, you know, after a shootout between Jack Kate and obviously Daniel at the time. They managed to escape, causing an explosion and getting in the Jeep and driving off, and they've gone to obviously LaFleur's to go and speak to him. They've heard the guy knocking in the cupboard, they've caught him, and then obviously they captured Juliet and Sawyer. So again, it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with that one. Can't wait. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you do enjoy it, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
I'm gonna give you 3 seconds.
What's he doing in there? Jack, he's crazy.
What if this is why we're here? This is our one chance to put things back the way they're supposed to be.
Oh, Charles Widmore's come and knocked him out.
Jack,
Go, you move!
hey!
Wow, Jack's face is well busted.
Just who the bloody hell might you be?
This man walked into camp and put a gun to my head, and Eloise reacted. Where'd you find them?
Crouched in the bushes.
To tell me, Eloise, why the Dharma Initiative seems to have declared war on us.
These people aren't from the Dharma Initiative, Charles.
And where the hell are they from?
The future. 30 years later.
I brought dinner.
John?
It's been a while.
It's been 3 years.
It's gonna be night soon. You and I have an errand to run, and we don't have a lot of time.
Something different about you.
I have a purpose now.
Why did Locke say these were his people? I thought they were yours.
When I left the island, John stepped in. His name is Richard Alpert, advisor. He has had that job for a very, very long time.
These people, they were here with my husband, Jin Won. Do you remember them? Any of them?
And I do. I remember these people. I remember meeting them very clearly because I watched
Killed
them all
them.
die.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought he was gonna say he killed him, yeah. This is 30 years in the future, innit? So obviously he's saying that they all died back in 77. That's why it gets confusing, because is that when Ben went in and killed them all? I don't know.
You still have that compass I gave you?
A little rusty, but you can still find north.
Ben, I'd appreciate it if you'd join us.
What, John, don't you trust me here with my former people?
We'll be back in a couple of hours. I'll see what I can find out.
Take it easy on her.
You said that we needed to put things back the way they were supposed to be.
If we can do what Faraday said, our plane never crashes. They'd all be alive.
You wouldn't know each other, would you?
We just...
All the misery that we've been through, we'd just wipe it clean. Never happened.
It was not all misery.
The man I shot, what did he need the bomb for? I need you to tell me why he needed the bomb. When I was 17 years old, I took a young man to the bomb. He said that he was from the future, and then he disappeared. 10 minutes ago, I shot that man. Explain to me, and you have my word, I will believe you. How is this my handwriting if I don't remember writing it?
Because you've not been to the future?
Because you haven't written it yet. Your son came back here because he had figured out a way to change things. He doesn't have to be dead. You don't have to have killed him.
Does he know what he's talking about?
He thinks he does.
I'll take you to the bomb. We secured it over 20 years ago underground. Since that time, it appears that someone's built an entire village over it. It appears that you two have been passing yourselves off as members, so coming and going will be relatively simple.
It might be a little bit more complicated than that.
Do you know what I'm thinking, right, before we get into this with Sawyer? Like, they go on that they can't change the past, but you can't change the future, can you, either? Because technically the future's happened. Does that make sense? Like, I'm hoping it does, because, you know, the past has happened, but it's not happened for these people yet. But the future has happened, and it's happened for Jack and Kate. You know what I mean? Like, so I understand that his concept is, you know, we could do this and we can get our plane to land, you know, basically safely. But then you are changing the future. You know what I mean? And then what happens to his memories? You know what I'm saying? Because Jack's still going to be Jack. You know what I mean? They've gone back in time. He's still himself. He could still remember. It's the people in that timeline that don't remember. You know what I mean? So, like, if they jumped to the future or jumped to a time where they was on the plane, technically they would still have all the memories of everything that they've done, because nobody's lost the memories, as far as I'm aware anyway, who's been part of these jumps. You know what I mean? So, like, if they jump back into the time where the plane was okay, everybody still has the knowledge of the past, the present, the future, what's about to come. You know what I mean? And that is a little bit confusing in itself. And, you know, Eloise asked a question, how's this my handwriting when I don't remember writing it? Well, let's be honest, I mean, that was totally obvious in terms of the context and the story that Jack was saying. And, you know what I mean? The fact is, yeah, if she's just said that, you know, a guy come to the island and we buried the body, Daniel looks exactly the same. Like, spitting image, richard.com. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't understand how she didn't remember him when he returned. Do you know what I mean? Like, she acted like he was someone different or whatnot, when she clearly knew he was there last time and he was there again. And it makes sense that if he said he was from the future in the past and then he disappeared and then he's reappeared here with extra information, he's kind of telling the truth. I don't know. Power, you know what I mean? Quick to pull the trigger.
That woman, where is she now?
I'm a lawyer.
Stewart! I'm still in charge here. You were in charge, Horace. You don't have the stomach for what happens next.
You tell me where she is, or so help me God, I will kill you.
There's no chance that he's going to spill the beans. He's been tortured by Saeed and didn't say anything.
We are not bad people. We are not here to hurt you.
Whatever you tell them, they ain't gonna believe you. So I'm gonna get more people hurt.
I knew that was going to happen. I thought that was going to happen.
There's still no sign of Miles or Jen. But the recruits from last week, I got their subs manifest from Amy. There were 3 last-minute add-ons.
Who the hell is Hugo Reyes?
He's the fat guy.
Maybe Dr. Chang's kind of interested because he actually has had some information revealed to him, hasn't he?
So what's the rescue plan?
Rescue plan? We're heading to the beach. Why do you think we sent you for food? What are you doing here?
Friend Faraday said that you were from the future. I need to know if he was telling the truth. What year were you born?
1931.
You're 46. He's the president of the United States.
All right, dude, we're from the future. Sorry.
Mate, that's a really good line of questioning, that, actually.
You are my son.
Yeah, it's true.
You're a friend of physicist. He also told me to evacuate everyone I could off the island.
He's been right about everything so far. If Faraday said get people off the island, I'd do it.
Richard, you and Eric are coming with me. You can untie them. Do you mind giving us a moment? I'm taking them to the bomb.
Who is he? The man you're asking about, Jack, is Charles Whitmore. He and Eloise are, it's nice to say, love can be complicated. You ready to tell me where you've been the last 3 years?
You really don't know? Well, Richard, you're just about to see where I disappeared too. And after we're finished with that, I'd like you to take me to see Jacob.
Ben said last time, you know, he's the man that summons, you're not the one that summons him. He said that, didn't he, when he first asked?
The man's about to walk out of the jungle. He's been shot in the leg.
That's Locke.
You'll need this to get the bullet out. You're going to need to tell him that he has to bring everyone who left back to the island. You tell him he's going to have to die.
Who is that man, John?
Me.
Hey, he's smart, like, honestly. So, is he basically saying that, like, he's got to go and do that because it's the chain of events that still brought them back here? Does that make sense? Like, I'm not trying to get my head around, like, obviously, you know, if Richard doesn't go over there and help Locke, then the first action of Locke leaving the island and trying to kill himself wouldn't have got them to this segment now. Do you know what I mean? Because if Richard never went over there, Locke would have never had that plan. But then again, it's kind of like full circle in it, because if then Locke didn't leave the island and come back, he wouldn't have had the ability to tell himself to go over there. Do you know what it reminds me of? Like Azkaban, like Prisoner of Azkaban, man. When I was a kid, right, and I watched that, I didn't really get it until I probably watched it about 5 times and then I understood it. Do you know what I mean? Like when they're down there, Buckbeak's about to get killed and obviously he dies, and they're in Hagrid's thing, and obviously I think Harry gets hit on the head with one of them beans. And then later on, Hermione gets a little thing out and spins it, and then they go back, and then they run back in there, and they're doing it, and they're the ones that threw the fucking thing, and it hit Harry in the head. They're the ones that let Buckbeak go. Harry was the one that hit the Patronus to save himself, not his dad, you know what I mean? It's the only way I can kind of make sense to myself, like, what's happening, you know what I'm saying? Like, they've had to go through these events before, so that they could go through them now to help save themselves.
What is happening?
What's happening is you're bleeding to death.
How did you know there was a bullet in my leg, Richard?
Because you told me there was, John.
Well, you will.
How did you know when to be here?
The island told me. Didn't it ever tell you things?
No, John. And clearly it hasn't told you where Jacob is, or you wouldn't need Richard to show you.
You've never seen him.
But Locke did. Locke actually seen him. He's gone now. I seen him as well. It looked like some skeleton sat in a chair.
Everything go all right?
Well, you seemed pretty convinced, especially when I said you were going to die. Certainly glad that didn't have to happen.
Actually, Richard, it did. You better get back to camp.
I mean, he's not quick to spill those beans, is he? I'll be telling him the full story, me. I'll Ben done me in.
We're supposed to be at the Swan right now, Chang. We're supposed to break ground in less than 20 hours.
We're under imminent threat. You're in charge.
He's not in charge anymore. We keep working.
Put us on the sub. Put the women and children on the sub and get them the hell out of here. And if you put me and Juliet on the sub with them, we'll tell you anything you want to know.
Draw me a map. I want to know exactly where the hostiles are.
They was just at a lake like this, right? And they all turned up with guns, didn't they? Do you know what I mean? They're the ones that find you.
Do you know how to swim? I can't go any further with you, Jack. Not this time.
Kate, you tried to kill us.
What are you trying to do? Just want to leave.
Look, just put the gun...
Step away!
If she wants to leave, she can leave!
Saeed. I always wondered what has happened to him.
So you're telling me you're going to erase the last 3 years of our life? I don't know if you're aware of this, but I've already changed things. I killed Benjamin Linus, and we're all still here.
It's because you didn't kill him. Sawyer and me took him to the others so that they could save him.
3 of us disappeared off that plane and ended up here. Ended up now, because this is our chance to change things.
If you're wrong, then everyone on the island dies. Do you understand that?
I'm not wrong, Kate. This is why we're here. This is our destiny.
Do you know who you sound like?
Sounds like Locke now. They're all over the place, aren't they? They're here, Kate's going there, Sawyer's getting on the boat, Hurley's going back to the, you know, beach. I mean, Sun's in a different timeline altogether.
I want you to leave.
Why is he yelling at her, dude?
It's the only way you can get her to leave.
Don't worry. It's gonna be okay. Sawyer always has a plan, right?
We'll buy Microsoft. We're gonna be rich.
He's doing what I said last episode. What would you do?
Come on, LaFleur. Get in.
The thing is, you kind of know the people who actually do get on do get saved. Because Miles, obviously, is okay.
I don't see you on the other side. I won't blame you.
Deep breath and follow Richard under. There's an opening in the bottom of the rocks at the far side.
They're in the temple, it looks like.
A lot further than I thought it was.
Didn't think you'd come.
Well, if this
Got nothing else to do.
You might just save us all.
See, that's the thing what Sai's just said there, innit? It's like either, you know, we go ahead with this and it works and we're successful and everything's sound and you saved us, or I don't come with you, you go and do it anyway, you fail and we all die. So technically, do you know what I mean? It's like one of those things, it's like, you know, are you going to wait for something to happen or are you going to take part in yourself? Because either way, if it's going off, you're dying. If it goes wrong. So would you rather be sat like this guy here and getting killed? Or would you rather be doing the action? I'd rather be doing the action. You know what I mean? Like, I know that you're dying, but if you didn't, then you took part in the success. You know what I'm saying? And also, you know, that looks like the tomb that Ben fell down. And I wonder if they used the monster to kind of pull the bomb in. Because there's no way that they've got some sort of machinery that can transport it around. And they buried it underneath Dharma as well, which I'm quite surprised on that. They built all their facilities on top of it. I would have thought that they would have checked the ground, you know what I mean? Check the piles, make sure the foundations are okay, make sure there's nothing there, do you know what I mean? Checked it and scoped it before they just set up camp, but no. And I do also, I know that, I don't even know how long's left, but going back to the people that crash landed on the island who've been asking about what lies in the foot of the statue or something, what is actually going on with them? I actually can't believe that a plane crash landed maybe 6-7 episodes ago. They've been in it once or twice. They've been in a backstory as well, but nothing really. Literally nothing. I can't believe you're not even focused in on it a little bit.
I'll have a tent prepared for you, John, and we'll get going first thing in the morning.
Thought we could leave right now.
We can do whatever you want, but maybe the two of us should go to my tent and talk.
Is this everyone? My name is John Locke. I've been told that for some time you all have been accepting orders from a man named Jacob. I'm sure there are very good reasons why his existence and whereabouts are secret. And to be honest with all of you, if there's a man telling us what to do, I want to know who he is.
Can you tell us how to bring Jin and the rest of our people back here?
Absolutely. So I'm going to go and see Jacob. And I'd like all of you to come with me.
I'm starting to think John Locke is going to be trouble. Why do you think I tried to kill him?
The thing is Jacob even real then? I'm sure I've seen somebody sat in a chair. I definitely did see somebody sat there.
These guys ain't cops. They got no authority over us back in the real world. So once we dock, wherever we dock, we're free. Whatever happens, I got your back, remember?
I love you.
I love you back.
Hold on, don't close the hatch. We're over there with the others.
Kind of annoying, to be fair, not gonna lie.
Hey.
It's not really Kate's fault, but it is kind of annoying, do you know what I mean? I kind of feel sorry for Juliet, me, you know, like, she literally, like, she's not a third wheel, but she just kind of is. It's like the ex-girlfriend that doesn't ever piss off, do you know what I mean? You're just like, why you keep coming back, man? Like, literally, let me try and get on in my new relationship. Stop, go away. That's literally how I feel like in Kate in that situation. That's how I feel like Juliet is feeling. It's not really Kate's fault, is it? Let's be honest. I'm not blaming her, but from Juliet's point of view, that's the vibe that I'm getting. It's kind of ruining her relationship with Sawyer because she's just always there. The Marines are mad out there. Need to go on one in my life. Like, I think they're crazy.
I'm sure it's occurred to you that this woman's motivation is only to annihilate the Dharma Initiative.
I still trust her. Because 30 years from now, she's the one who's going to tell us how to get back to the island.
Maybe he's thinking it actually worked and she's alive, so, you know what I mean? That's why I trust her, because she gives us information in the future.
Well, now what?
Innit? Where did he set that off without obviously impacting themselves?
Beautiful day, isn't it?
Richard had some concerns. This pilgrimage to Jacob makes him uncomfortable.
I appreciate you bringing this to my attention, Ben.
But I'm here to follow you now. So if you need Jacob to help you reunite your people, then I'll do whatever.
I'm not interested in being reunited with my people.
Then why are we going to Jacob?
So I can kill him.
But Ben looks a bit concerned though, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? I feel like Ben loves the island, like he hardcore like loves it, but like loves it in a different way to the way Locke does. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he loves being there, being the authority person and being in charge and obviously like telling people what to do, but also taking orders from the island. Where like Locke's on the other hand, he's different. It seems like he's following orders and the island's telling him to do things, but like we just have to rock with it and hope that he's telling the truth. But it seems like he, you know, bit the information that he's got so far and the stuff that he's been doing has been correct. You know what I mean? Like, just like turning up at this point when he was watching himself come out and obviously, you know, Richard had to go over and get the bullet wound out, get the gun person, tell him he's got to die and all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, and just the locations and things. I mean, I'm a big fan of going to find this Jacob. I feel like Jacob is one of the things in the show that has lasted too long, if that makes sense. Like, it's not been painful and it's not been dragged, but the names have been dropped for a few seasons. You know what I mean? This is not the first season his name's in it. Last season, he was with Claire. Do you know what I mean? And Claire's gone completely in this season. I think he might have been even introducing when Ben joined, when that was 2 or 3. You know what I mean? It's been quite a bit of time now since this name Jacob's been in and the mysterious factor around it, and it is time to be revealed. It just is. You know what I mean? Like, we need to get there, we need to get to the source of it, we need to know who it is, why that person's in charge. Are they in charge? Are they taking orders from someone else? You know what I mean? Like, what is it that they're doing? How have they got to be in that position where they are? What's happening with Christian? Do you know what I mean? Is he on the island? Is he not? You know, where's Claire gone? Are we going to find that out this season, or is it going to go into the next? You know what I mean? Like, all of this stuff, I feel like it revolves around Jacob. Why is it that sometimes you can find a cabin and you can't? You know what I mean? What's the mysteriousness around that? You know what I mean? It seems like today, when Locke was speaking, he was saying that he believes that Ben has never actually physically seen Jacob. Yet, when we've seen it, I feel like we have seen him. Even though not really properly, but we've seen kind of flickers and shadows of him. And when Ben was there, he was having a full-on conversation with technically nobody. And Locke wasn't really believing him. He was saying that he was kind of crazy and insane, wasn't it? So I think it's time to have that reveal. You know what I mean? Basically, we're going to the last season anyway, so it has to be done. And I'm a big fan of it. Also, like I say, he's going to kill him. Don't know who's told him that. Don't know why he's thought of that. But, you know, it is surprising as well that all these people have lived on the island so long, blindly, following the sheep. Do you know what I mean? Like, basically, like, they've lived there, took orders from somebody that they've never known, and just took it as face value that that's how it should and what is meant to be. And I'm surprised that nobody's ever stood up and questioned Jacob themselves. And this they have, you know, have they been killed, executed, have they been taken? You know what I mean? What's happened to those ones? So that was good. And again, like I said, you know, I'm not going to bang on about the people that crashed on the new plane that come to the island, but they've still got a story to play. They took some guns, they took a case, they arrived in one of Miles's backstories and told him that he's playing for the wrong side. There's more to be of their characters. Who are they? They obviously don't like Widmore. And why are they here? Was he meant to be on that plane? Did they know it was going to happen? Or is it just accidental? You know what I mean? I'm very surprised that we haven't deep dived a bit more into those. You know, Frank's got knocked out as well. Is he okay? You know what I mean? Hopefully we see that in the final few episodes. Okay, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you're not yet voted for your most likely to dislike characters of this season, please do. It takes 30 seconds and your results and mine will be shown in the final episode of the season. Cannot wait to see who you guys choose. So obviously we had confirmation that obviously, what is it now? Daniel had actually died. Yes, he did get shot last episode and it looked like he passed out, but full confirmation was given in today's episode. And obviously now Eloise is confused. She's asking questions. You know, she said, how's my handwriting in this book when I've not wrote it yet or written it? And then obviously Jack's turned around and said, look, he was telling the truth. We are from the future. That is your son. He's come back here because he's trying to save you. You know what I mean? He's given her information. She's obviously rocking and rolling with the plan now. You know, obviously Saeed turned up. He helped him. You know, Kate was actually, you know, not wanting to take part. She was thinking that this is not the right thing to do. So really, it's interesting because it's a conflict of opinions, really. You know, Jack's taking the approach of, look, you know, Eloise is alive in the present. I believe that this is something that would have happened in the past. I believe that Daniel was on the right, you know, kind of like trajectory. He kind of figured something out. Most of the stuff that he's been doing so far has been correct. Even Miles acknowledged that in this episode. Jack's thinking, look, mate, you know, I understand that she's probably got her own intentions about taking this hydrogen bomb and taking out a Dharma initiative. Do you know what I mean? They're the others. They obviously want to eliminate, obviously, the threat to them. But also, I believe this is the best way for us. And the fact is that she's in the future telling us how to get back to the island gives me the incentive to believe that she's the right choice to go with. Even if something like this happens, this is the correct path that we need to go down. So I can't really blame him for that. It's interesting because Kate obviously made a reference that Jack is kind of sounding more and more like Locke each day, you know what I mean? Maybe it's destiny, you know what I mean? Maybe it's fate. We need to see more of the monster. You know, I don't know how they're going to move this bomb, actually. There's only a few of them. Looks like they got it on wheels. I don't know where they're going to push it so that they don't get hit with the impact. I don't even know how they're going to set it off. Are they going to shoot it? I actually don't know. Be interesting to find out. Also, you know what I mean? Basically, Sawyer was getting beaten up and all that. He's obviously cut a deal. He's like, look, mate, if you don't want us here, you don't like us, kick us away. Get us on the sub, send us back. All the other people on the island as well, just evacuate them. Get the children, get the kids, you know what I mean? Get the women, get the men, get anybody who doesn't want to be here and just let them go. Now, we actually got the backstory of Dr. Chang, who actually kind of, I don't know, like he broke up with his wife, technically, to get her off the island. Says that he didn't want to be with her or whatnot. Now, Miles has obviously changed his opinion on him. Understands everything that's kind of going on. It was the only way that he could actually save them. They've left. They're on the sub as well. The interesting thing is, obviously, Kate's returned and she's on there. Now, I kind of feel sorry for Julia. I was just saying a minute ago, you know, Kate's like the ex-girlfriend that's always turning up in places when you just want to be with your new partner. You know what I mean? You want to settle down in your new relationship and you've got this person here always chipping and chirping away. Do you know what I mean? Always getting involved in the business. And the fact is, when they go back to the mainland, do you know what I mean? Whenever they dock somewhere, they can't forget Kate. They're not just going to move into the normal world and just be like, Kate, see you, somebody that I used to know Gaultier. Do you know what I mean? No, she's going to be there involved again, and she's probably thinking, for God's sake, man. But then again, I can't really blame Kate. It's not her fault, you know. She's been involved in relationships in the past. She's turned to the island, you know what I mean? She got caught, she's on the sub, like, can't really blame her. But I don't know, I feel like maybe something's going to happen in the final few episodes, either to Kate, Sawyer, or Juliet. Maybe it's just Juliet because she's not an OG character, you know what I mean? She wasn't introduced in season 1, and I'm not going to say that, like, she's going to die, but maybe she could die, you know what I mean? Maybe it's a twist. Maybe something's going to happen where, like, I don't know, they're fighting to try and save themselves or something, and she sacrifices herself or whatnot. I don't know. Don't mind Juliet as a character, to be honest. I think that she's been a pretty good addition to the show since she's come in. Like I said, you know, I have no idea, actually, what's going to go on in the final few episodes. We usually get a part 1, part 2. It excites me. They've not disappointed yet. They've all been decent. We've had a part 3 sometimes as well, especially in the first season. You know, they're going to be up on the channel for the next 2 days. So, like I say, if you've not voted for your most likely to dislike characters yet, please do, because obviously in the final one, we're going to be doing the reveal. So I can't wait to see you guys choose. If you guys have not done it yet and you're waiting for some certain actions that take place, maybe some craziness happens in the next few. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you did enjoy it, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you do. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.